Hello, YouTube. Well, to continue on with our psychotronics series here, I came across a very interesting document, and it's more just novelty and funny and really thought provoking than anything else. And I just wanted to read through some of this stuff. This was in September 26th of 1980. Translation bibliography on parapsychology, psychotronics, psychoenergetics, psychobiophysics, and related problems. Okay, this is from Russia. Um, blah blah blah. CIA. This was a CIA released FOIA document. It was under wraps with the CIA for a long time. But this just continues to show how far back and for how long they have been seriously in depth studying this subject um, of parapsychology and um, remote viewing and these things that all of us possess the ability to use this sixth sense, I guess you would put it, but it's never taught to us because they don't want us to have the power. They don't want us to know about this stuff. And it's not like they have kept it from us because it's all bunk and doesn't exist, and there's no. They found that there's no good implementation for it or anything like that because it's all or it's not real. They found it's not real, maybe or something. But no, that's not the case. It's all real, and there is tons of ways to implement this stuff in our lives, and just knowing that you have the ability to access this um, part of your brain that can do these things. And I'm starting to wonder now if a lot of what they do or and have done in vaccines and like the fluoride in the water is to dampen and dull and eradicate this ability, psychic ability, this amazing ability that all of us possess, um, as far as clairvoyance, telekinesis, remote viewing, astral projection, um, the reality of ghosts, and magic being real, like being able to manifest matter with your consciousness and manifest energy with your consciousness. um just mind-boggling crazy stuff that's real, it's real, but we don't know about it. They won't tell us about it. Okay, let's go on through some of this stuff, and you'll see what I mean. Okay, this was this is a bibliography of investigations that were performed. Okay, so what this is like it's basically just going through and telling what uh experimental and theoretical investigations performed. Like, okay, number one here, psychoenergetics and extramotor functions of the organism, the collection, psychic self-regulation, electrophysiological reaction of the plant to a change in man's psychological state. The okay, so annotations and abstract. Okay, conference on the Society of Psychologists, Psychics in Life. Man, I would love to get into these investigations and stuff. And you see these dates on here, like 1975, 1904, 1908. I mean, on experiments in mental effect on animal behavior, problems of study and education of personality. Um, some of this is in Russian. So, general principles of human reflexology, bionics. This is 1965. This was an investigation, an in-depth. Now these are in-depth, like investigations carried out by the government here, um, in bionics in 1965, um, on the effect of magnet on something Bullock hallucinations, 1921. Um, tele that's psychophysiological principles of the telepathic phenomenon. That would be a good one there in 1934. They were studying the psychophysiological principles of the telepathic phenomenon. So they knew, um, telepathy was a thing, and they were studying it in 1934. Um, on physical principles of mental suggestion, 1936, from the Brain Institute. What do we got here? Um, mental suggestion of motor acts. Report on work at the Brain Institute, 1937. The problem of psychophysiological effect of peyote, 1947. I would have loved to have gotten that study. The psychophysiological effect of peyote. Yep, that was a good one. Wonder what they learned. I would love to read this report. I'm going to look all these reports up next and see if I can track them down. Abstracts of the report at the 15th Scientific and Technical Conference devoted to Radio Day, what was that? Oh, what else do we got? Experimental research on mental suggestion, 1962. Um, organization and main trends in scientific research in the area of biological communication and related phenomenon abroad. The collection, something, Observo Radio, this is Russian, Scientific and Technological Society of Radio Engineering, Electrician and Communication. So they were studying, um, electromagnetics, radio, using radio to, affect people's minds, um, all of this stuff way back, like way back. You know what they have now is just, we have no idea. There is a whole damn breakaway civilization of technocrats, techno elites that have devices that would just make you piss and giggle. I swear. Um, or run in fear. It just blows my mind. The further I go back into this stuff and see how much they knew and how far back they knew it, and what they're piecemealing out to us today, is just, it shows that we're being held as slaves in an intellectual prison, you know. It's just crazy. Dynamic systems in physics and biology. We should have free energy. There should be no pollution. We should have cars running on water. Everything should be running on water. Our rockets and spaceships all should be running on water. We should have anti-gravity technology. We should have, um, free energy devices everywhere. Eh, all of this stuff should have been done a long time ago, and here we are still, um, using a combustion engine, and trying to force our way into space with a fucking sugar rocket system. I mean, we have to be controlled by aliens or something. We are in prison here, people. Um, Look at this: theoretical principles of cybernetics in 1975. Okay, cybernetics, theoretical principles of cybernetics in 1975. Um, Psychological observations on of animals trained by my method, 40 years of experience, new advances in zoo psychology. Wonder what that cat was doing. I don't know. It sounds interesting though. Parapsychology, fiction or reality? Well, we already know it's reality. Experiments in mental effect on animals. Um, so I guess they were using like trying to do what is it? Um, Telepathy with, I guess, with animals, trying to like make them do things with their mind, which I can talk to animals with my mind. Um, I've been able to do that since I was a kid. Uh, that's neither here nor there, though. Bio and psychoenergetic activity and the problem of image biophysics. The collection problemy bioenergetic organisms, something, problems of bioenergetics of the organism and stimulation with laser radiation. Wow. Let me go that. What now? Problems of bioenergetics of the organism and stimulation with laser radiation. 1976. Huh. Bio and psychoenergetic activity in the problem of image biophysics. So they were using lasers to image what? Um, biology? I don't know. That's craziness right there. Um, Bioplasma as a biofilled matrix and a new experimental approach to the problem of psychoenergetics. The collection, Psychic Self-Regulation, 1973. Bioplasm and its radiation. The collection, 1974. Bios no. Biostimulation with a laser beam and bioplasm. Some problems of the methods and mechanisms of training extrasensory perceptions, GESP and ESP. The collection. Second Ukrainian Republic Conference. This was 1968 that they were um, training people in extrasensory perception. Okay, you hear that? What else we got? Thought transference factors, cresting the plausibility of occurrence of outwardly radiating electromagnetic oscillations in the nervous system. 1923. Wow. Thought transference. That is sending a thought to another person. Okay? You hear that? Factors cresting the plausibility of occurrence of outwardly radiating electromagnetic oscillations in the nervous system. Okay? Biological radio communication. 1963. Is telepathy possible? Yes. 1966. Telepathy, hypothesis and observations. Telepathy, hypothesis and observations. Man, I want to get into these investigations and get into what they were saying in these. This is crazy, man. Crazy. The Russians were on it. They had the game wrapped up. They already had figured out a new form of physics, and um, they were investigating and implementing psychic abilities, psychic powers, um, all of this stuff way back in the 70s. I mean, so imagine what they're doing now, okay? Really. They were teaching their soldiers how to use ESP, um, thought transference, um, bio radio, um, sending radio signals from your mind, or I'm sorry, intercepting radio signals with your mind. Information analysis of experiments in telepathic communication. That was 68. Investigation on telepathy as an information transmission channel. The collection. Bunch of Russian people and technical societies of radio engineering, electronic communication, all union session devoted to Radio Day, 50th anniversary of Nithingrad Radio Laboratory, blah, blah, blah. The problem of distant stimulation of dreams. The collection. Wow. The problem of distant stimulation of dreams. What would be the problem with that? 1974. The problem of psychoenergetics in the United States. The collection. The problem of psychoenergetics in the United States. Ocular formation of visual hallucinations in space. The collection. Ocular formation of visual hallucinations in space. Investigation of conditioned reflex change in man's electrocephalogram due to a non-specific stimulus. Investigation of conditioned reflex changes in man's electroencephalogram. I got to look that up. Due to a non-specific stimulus. I got to look that one up. 68. Nervous system. Problems of detection of weak reactions of the nervous system. Is what problems of detection of weak reactions of the nervous system. Electroencephalographic investigation of the interaction of sensorily isolated individuals tested by the conditioned reflex method. The collection. Nervous system. So they were sensory deprivation individuals. They were using sensory deprivation techniques. The conditioned reflex method. We got to figure that one out too, people. Electroencephalographic investigation of the information interaction of sensory isolated individuals tested by the conditioned reflex method, the collection. Bionica, Second Ukrainian Scientific Conference, 68. Got to get that one out. New possibilities of affecting human sense organs. That's a good one. Indicators of the biological activity of the human brain. Anthropoda. That don't sound good. Here we go. Here's some crazy. Nipronotovos. No, that's something else. Continuity versus discreteness in language and thinking. Huh. Continuity versus discreteness. The problem of nonverbal information transmission. The problem of nonverbal information transmission. Electrostatic model of distant effects, the collection. See problems of biodynamics and bioenergetics of the organism in health and disease. Huh. Interpretation of the indicators of chemical tests, the collection. Survey of investigations on bio astronautica. The hell? Nation freedom of astronautics. Survey of investigations on bioastronautics. Bioastronautics. Okay. International Federation on Astronautics. We got to look into that. The collection, Cosmos Space issue. Okay. Experiments in telepathy, telepath, telepsychic phenomenon, and brain radiation. That would be a good one. General psychological aspects of the problems of perception of weak signals by the organism. Huh. Some data on the perception of information by living systems. Perceptive channel of information transmission over long distance. History of the problem and recent investigations. See also discussion on the article Introduction to Psychology. Perceptive channel of information transmission over long distance. Huh. What else we got here? We're on 55 now. I'm going to go through this list. I mean, but this is just crazy, is it not? These are all programs carried out, investigations, and some crazy stuff that I would love to be a part of. Psychoenergetics and some of its possibilities, the collection. Psychoenergetic activity in aspects of the activity of the organism, uh, psychoenergetic activity and its internal and external manifestation. Some data on voluntary effect on electrobioluminescence. Wow, hold up now. Hold the horse. Hold up, Sandy. We got the horse. Some data on voluntary effect on electrobioluminescence. Are they making people glow? Is that what that means? Interaction of the bioplasm field on a living organism with sources of light photons. Now that sounds good. That sounds like you're getting up there with the SS Heinrich Himmler fucking, uh, backdoor stuff. Interaction of the bioplasm field of a living organism with sources of light photons. What is the bioplasm field of a living organism? Do we have a bioplasm field? Got to look that one up. Interaction of a bioplasm field on living organisms continued on. Energetic characteristics of bioplasmorgans. Data of scientific methodology. I don't know what that is. Reaction of an observer's body to a radio transmitter and a radio receiver with shortwave. Reaction of an observer's body to a radio transmitter and a radio receiver with shortwave. What the hell is that about? 1926, by the way. Psychotherapy, suggestion, and hypnosis. There we go. 66. That's some MK Ultra stuff. Second corrected in a large edition. Yep. Telepathic information as a biological problem. The collection. Telepathic information as a biological problem. Well, what you got to say about that? Letter to the editors in connection with I am something Kogan's article, Telepathy is Possible, with enclosure of I am Kogan's reply. Radio Technica. So, I mean, we already know. We already know from just looking through this stuff that telepathy is real and being used, and it's a problem over there. I guess with their keeping their secrets safe. Some new problems of consciousness. 64. This is almost through here. Radiation of microwaves by the human organism from the laboratory of biophysics. Radiation of microwaves by the human organism. Extrasensory perception. Is this serious? Yes. Brain, consciousness, and telepathy, the collection. Abstracts of reports of the 5th Scientific Conference on telepathic observations, the Department of the Society of Psychologists, 65. Methods and results of experimental check of the possibility of telepathic communication. Experiments in so-called mental suggestion to animals. That would be a good one. Information aspect of biological communication. I feel like this is a list of like summer camp when you would go and look through the classes that you wanted to take, or seminars that you wanted to attend over like a workaday weekend, or a a conference or something like that. Because I really would like to get involved with all of that stuff. Physical hypnosis. Um, Electromagnetic hypothesis of transmission of mental suggestion. Biophysical regulators of the tempo of time. Now, that one needs to go to the number 1. Biophysical regulators of the tempo of time. The collection, 76. One quantum mechanical mechanism for the storage and processing of information by the brain. Yes, sir. One quantum mechanical mechanism for the storage of processing of information by the brain. The collection. Neurobionica and neurobionics. And this was in 1970, people. 1970, okay? Physics and philosophy. 63. Some problems of systemization of elementary particles. Okay. Structure of elementary particles in the vacuum. Principle of the unified relativistic quantum theory of fundamental field. Okay. So we're getting into some physics here. The possible physical carrier of perceptive channel of information transmission. Task of magnetostatics and electrodynamics. I mean, they were into some shit, okay? I'm telling y'all. They were deep into some stuff that we don't even know, you know? I'm talking about like telepathic communication with each other, um, the transmission of and storage of information in people's brains, and the extraction of that information with the carrier not even knowing about it. I'm talking some crazy, okay? Psychochemical modeling of the process of information and thinking. Thermodynamics of the information process. Psychochemical modeling of the process of information and thinking. Thermodynamics and thinking. System process and types of their psycho. What is this? psychochemical modeling of the processes of information and thinking, system processes and types of their reflection. Okay? Psychochemical modeling of the processes of information and thinking, thermodynamics of the thinking process at the system level. So they were already back in this was 1968. They were already had pulling the brain apart and figuring out how um to I don't know what they were doing. Use it as a Manchurian candidate, or like they were preparing themselves for AI. Like this is the very ground of the floor of building a conscious sentient AI. You know, this is how you do it. You got to get down there when the get your knees dirty. Casual or asymmetrical mechanics and linear approximation, physics and psychics, increase in entropy in information systems. That's a good one. Ionic theory of excitation. I mean, this is just modern problems of biophysics, research on adaptation, neuron as a alternating current apparatus. Now that's a good one. Neuron as an alternating current apparatus on the basis of an experiment in peculiar electrophysiology. Definitely got to look that one up. And this was 1933, people. 1933. Neuron, an alternating current apparatus. Anniversary collection. Electromagnetic hypothesis of biological communication. Thermodynamics, information and thinking. Expected cybernetics and unexpected cybernetics. This was 1968, people. Okay, they were already doing the neural net shit back in the 60s. So, at what distance could sea animals communicate by means of electromagnetic waves? Problems of diffraction and propagation of waves. Electron structure and physical properties of crystals. Principles of mathematical modeling of bioplasm radiation of the living organism. Data of scientific and methodological sensing. The principle of causality and the second law of thermodynamics. Positive, negative, and imaginary internal masses. Neurophysiological principles of parametrization of adaptation and stress. Huh. Dynamics of the neural networks. Work in living systems from the point of view of dualism of energetic information and the principle of conservation. Work in living systems from the point of view of dualism of energetic information and the principles of conservation, 1975. Does energetic information dualism mean equivalence of mutual transformations of energy and information in living systems? Neurophysics of stress at the membrane level, stress and pulse radiation, abstracts of an all union symposium. I mean, they were building some weapons, mind weapons, um, phenomena of skin electricity, journey to the depth of the brain with a clever guide. I mean, I'm telling you, people, mysterious phenomenon of the human psyche. the Russians had it going on as far as parapsychology goes. They were way far ahead of us, and they were coming up with some stuff, man. I just wanted to read through some of that and just to let y'all know how far behind we actually are. Have a nice day.